Hello and welcome once again everybody to the Mineski Pro Gaming League Season number 6, brought to you by HeflaTV, with the English coverage for the group stage at the very least. I am Coucher and I'm joined by Blackadder for this game number 2 of Click and Search by Awake. How you doing?
Not too bad, sir. Not too bad. And, well, what can we say about the hands this time? No Tinker or Razor or Brewmaster or Meepo.
And Click and Search, yeah, it's no surprise. Now, they crushed the game with a Radiant Lycan, Tire Lycan, even stronger, and there is still Shadow Shaman, Death Prophet, Nature's Prophet, anything along those heroes to just strengthen their push even more.
Yeah, I am honestly surprised Awake let through a dire side Lycan. I mean, this is going to be rough in my mind, unless they are going to show us something special to handle the Lycan, because they really did not have that ability in the first game. I mean, it just did not work out. Awake, they just lost so many towers before the 15-minute mark. I mean, the Lycan pretty much took the tier 2 on the bottom lane at 7 minutes. It was incredibly rough. But as we stand now, Awake, what do they have available to them in this pool? There is a Faceless Void. There is also some more unorthodox things we could see for the first pick. If they want to go truly aggressive, we could see a Nature's Prophet first pick. It's not been the first time we've seen that. Equally, Shadow Shaman is there, Skywrath Mage is there. Skywrath and Void could be a potential pick. I mean, there are options here.
Yeah, there certainly are, and they need to make 100% sure that they get the best of it, because stopping a Lycan is never going to be easy. Yes, it can be done, but how is the question, and of course, if the enemy team is comfortable with a Lycan,
Oh, that's how you do it.
if you get it before the shapeshift, then sure, and for that, he's most likely going to need a Blink Dagger.
I would completely agree, but, well, Doom and Earthshaker. I like this, and you get a Nature's Prophet for Click and Search, so they're going to be going all in levels of push at this rate.
And well, the secondary hero was the Earthshaker, which is definitely good, up against Nature's Prophet and all kinds of push all in all. And I do love that Death Prophet was panned out, thank God for that, but I don't really think Click and Search needs additional push with the two heroes they already have.
No, I think they can just pick up things like, I was going to say Shadow Shaman, but did get immediately banned by Awake. They're on the ball with that one at least. But there are a couple of other options here for push. We could see the likes of an aggressive style of push with a Chen or an Enchantress. I mean, this is classic styles of Dota, but Chen and Enchantress usually signal some kinds of pushing. But from where we sit, it's up to Click and Search what they want to do with that, because I do not know the team as well as you potentially here, Couchor, but do they have a Chen or Enchantress player? Do you know?
For Awake, I actually can't recall them playing it, so I'm inclined to say no since they haven't gone for it. But, I mean, Enchantress a little bit easier than Chen, I think, since from some point onwards you actually don't use your creeps at all almost, or don't take too many of them, whereas Chen you always have to keep just your army up and go in. So,
I'll grant you that, but... Okay, we get the Lich pickup for Awake, and that'll be immediately traded into a Witch Doctor pickup for Click and Search. And I like this Witch Doctor. I mean, many a time we have both pointed out Voodoo Restoration in a pushing lineup cannot be underestimated, especially in the early game.
yeah, it most certainly cannot. It's actually an extremely strong ability to go for, and Awake, although they will have the Lich Ice Armor to slow down the pushes, they actually don't have too much counter push early on, or the ability to fight super early before they hit their ultimates. Since Doombringer, yes, he can score Stir for something, but Doombringer is actually most susceptible to just early pushing, because what the hell does he do? Does he run in and just try to face tank it?
I don't know. I don't think he can face tank it. I mean, it's just not something he would do. And now we get a Morphling for Awake. So Morphling Lich dual lane mid is what's occurring to me here. The Lich also does back up the Doom with that Frost Armor. This is a curious draft out of Awake, and if they can pull it off, this is going to be scary. Don't get me wrong. But that's a big if. Very big if.
Yeah, and oh my god. Holy crap.
Pushing
Click and
power.
Search, they are all about the push. And Liquid Fire doesn't really care all that much about the Ice Armor.
No, it doesn't. I mean, Ice Armor versus Liquid Fire wins. It pretty much melts away the armor, no pun intended. But now into the final ban phase. What do Awake ban here?
Well, I guess an Invoker wouldn't be too bad of a ban at the moment. But actually, Pogna will just as good, I guess.
I'm actually thinking for click and search they could go with something like an Elder Titan, because then you've got the pushing power, the physical damage, you mix in zero armor. It's going to be a scary thing. But we'll get a Ember Spirit ban out by click and search. Awake, final pick, Morphling dual lane mid, potentially with the Lich, Doom safe lane, Earthshaker, roaming support, looking for an off lane in my mind if my prediction of their lanes are right. And the off lane that really springs to mind, Clockwork, but it's going to be a center instead, just as good. Big tanky hero, can get in, initiate well with a blink dagger. The reason I was saying Clockwork is considering if you have Battery Assault on top of a Jakiro, Jakiro cannot cast. Battery Assault against Witch Doctor's Death Ward. Nope. You get my point here, and Nature's Prophet cannot really escape versus Clockwork either. But Centaur, he brings a different style. He wants to get in your face, burst you down with a double-edge combo. Just as effective.
Yeah, I would have liked Clockwork a little bit better just for the fact that he doesn't rely on the Blink Dagger. And, I mean, Centaur, yes, if he gets it early enough, it's all good and well, but if he doesn't, if he's pressured enough early on, maybe even dies a couple of times on the offlane, it might suddenly become just extremely hard for Awake to actually take fights properly when click and search are coming in for the push. So, I mean, for all the reasons you mentioned, as well as the lack of reliability or just the lack of relying on a blink dagger, I would have preferred the Clockwork.
I can certainly understand that. But now, last pick for click and search, we're looking for something pushy in my mind. And a few things do spring to mind, but I'm thinking, yeah, I was about to say Venomancer. There's your off lane or your mid, depending on how you want to run it. Venomancer was top of the list. The second, I would have said either the Beastmaster for the Aura, the Luna for the Aura, probably less likely, the Vengeful Spirit. You get where I'm going here, Aura.
Man, I'm hoping click and search are going to attempt a level 1 Roshan now. It's most likely not going to be the fastest since they don't have minus armor, but they have the Treants, they have the Howl or the Wolves, either or. Some heal from the Witch Doctor if need be, Liquid Fire as well from Jakiro, as well as the Plague Wards from Venomancer.
So let me get this straight. You want to see a second level 1 Roshan attempt by click and search in the same day?
Yes!
So you're asking them to telegraph their strategy 1,000-fold?
Of course.
I see. So give me a second. Let me just find the number of the mental asylum you escaped from. Nope, can't find it.
Well, I mean, one can hope. You were hoping for crazy strategies.
I'm hoping for crazy strategies, but you know there's a line in the sand. There's a line between crazy and genius. Or, well, genius and insanity, and that's going into the side of insanity. Maybe once in a blue moon, a level 1 Roshan, but twice within 3 hours is a little bit strong, considering you would generally expect your enemies to at least be watching the games.
Oh man, I'm so disappointed right now they didn't go for it. Who would have known? Who would have known? But I guess we can just introduce the lineups nonetheless. For CNS, for click and search on the dire side, Yamaguchi actually heading towards the offlane on the Nature's Prophet, leaving Jules as always to play the mid lane, but this time on the Venomancer with the defensive or safe lane, tri-lane, Boxy on the Witch Doctor, with Heart on the Jakiro, and leaving Polo once again to play a Lycan a third time today, I think.
This is the most Lycan I've seen in one day for a long time. But I suppose on the flip side of that coin, that does leave Solitic for the Centaur Warrunner for Awake. Over in the mid lane, we do have Yo2 on the Earthshaker. We have in the mid lane the dual mid of Supra on the Lich and Toye on the Morphling, and does of course leave the Doom by BSR on this safe lane.
So the lane Earthshaker actually looks like he's probably gonna block off something immediately. Supra, I guess they don't have to 100% commit on the dual mid lane. Morphling can most likely deal with it solo as well, but he will definitely help out with a sacrifice to begin with. Or if they stay there, it's fine as well. Venomancer, though, actually is not a bad hero to go up against that certain dual lane, I guess. Just play
dual
war
lane
from a
can
safe
kill him.
distance.
The dual lane can kill that Venomancer the second he steps out of position.
So he
Except
just has
no
to
substitute,
spam
he
Plague
can't do it.
Wards and hope for the best, kind of.
Pretty much. I don't see him being able to even survive that, in all honesty. But I suppose now comes the other formality. Who are you betting on?
Man, CNS. This
Yeah.
push, it can't be stopped.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm saying the same. I'm saying CNS will win this one. I mean, the lineup from Awake, sure, it has the potential to deal with it, but if even 2 towers go down within the first 7 minutes, this is going to be incredibly rough. And we can already see the liquid fire doing work to the tower as well as to Solitic. This is going to be a quick one. I have a gut feeling.
Well, I mean, I guess if the Centaur, or if he gets at least enough levels, he's probably not going to get too much farm, or at least he shouldn't, if CNS plays this correctly. But if he gets his level 6, the Stampede might be enough to just for them to be able to fight every time CNS tries to go for some form of push. And maybe, just maybe, if they keep up Roshan vision, as well as see the Lycan going in, trying to sneak a Roshan and catch him, maybe even sneak Roshan themselves, or not sneak, but snatch it themselves. Things like this can just turn the game around completely, but executing it is way easier said than done.
I'll completely agree to that, and I don't see them being able to see the Lycan going into the pit, just because he'll just pop it with a smoke. They can go with a gut feeling, but they don't really have anything that can scout the pit from range either. There's nothing like the Sunstrike in this game. So it's going to be an interesting one in my mind, but from where we stand right now, we're both betting on CNS. I'm going to say we're going to see the first tower fall around the 4-minute mark, at latest possibly, just because of that potential for tri-lane push coming out of CNS. I mean, you've got the Lycan, you have a Jakiro, Liquid Fire is there, as well as the potential for Bogsy with that Paralyzing Cask and the Voodoo Restoration to come up, and they catch Solitic with an Ice Bath, but where's the initiation, where's the rotation? In comes Yamaguchi, but of course there's no Sprout. He doesn't have the mana this early. But while he's here, they might look to push this tower.
I mean, why not? You might as well if he's here already. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't the best since it's not the Catapult wave quite yet. Not too far off, but I guess with the double damage on Witch Doctor, they can clear the creep wave a little bit faster.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for in all honesty. Just high creep wave with the DD rune and then spawn Treants and look to push in this tower. Solitic cannot defend a 4-man push. He needs support here, but in comes the Howl. This tower will melt, and I said before the 4-minute mark, slightly earlier than I thought, in comes the defensive fissure from the Earthshaker, but is that enough? I don't think it is. There just isn't enough damage to stop this for Awake right now. They need more rotations. They got Supra rotating in on the Lich. Tower's still taking a good amount of damage. It's a good amount of rotation coming out of Awake. It's slowing this down, so the tower may not fall, but the damage may near enough be done. That's going to be a very low tower, and the next push will deal with that. And while this is going on, of course, you've got Yamaguchi rotating back to that bottom lane. He's trading with BSR. BSR is his level 4. He doesn't have any stolen spell yet from the jungle. And equally mid lane, well, Jules has set up his bunker of Plague Wards, and Toye taking a large amount of damage. Does get slowed out, eats some harassment damage, but surely the Morphling won't fall to this one. He's going to be more than tanky enough. Top lane, however, got a little bit of invasion from Super into the enemy jungle. Boxy might be able to turn around on this. I mean, you go for the cask on that, it's going to bounce between Solitic and Supra, but where is the damage? Where is the turnaround as more Howl gets thrown into the mix?
The one thing I found extremely weird, especially when they went for a push this Boxy, he actually went for Maledict instead of Voodoo Restoration on level 2. So with the Voodoo Restoration, maybe they would have been able to deal a little bit more damage on the tower. I mean, just Maledict, it's not like they have excellent setup for it as it is anyway. It's like Sprout, I mean Ice Bath, it's really not a long duration stun, especially since Shakira wants to max out Liquid Fire first.
I'd be inclined to agree with you. I was honestly expecting the Maledict as well. I mean, Maledict, we all know it's such a powerful heal. It is one of the most rapid heals in the game over time, and I mean, it really does add up. It's better than, in my opinion, Chen. It's better than Enchantress, just because of the ability to keep it going permanently if you can fuel it with enough mana. It is an engine, basically.
He hadn't used a single point of mana before as well, so that's even weirder. But they want to go for a Polo, they get the slow feature as well. Solitic will connect on the Hoofstorm. It might be the first blood, a nice Ice Path though, doesn't matter. Solitic with the double H gets that first blood. So this tri-lane is actually pretty damn deadly with the burst they have. And Doombringer gets a solo kill with the Doom onto the Nature's Prophet, so 2-0 Awake, they take the lead.
Indeed they do, and that's a pretty big lead, considering also BSR found himself a Direwolf Alpha, so he's going to start hitting for a good amount of damage as well. Pings go onto BSR, they need to sort of deal with this Doom at some point, because if Doom gets the earlier start that he seems to be getting, and he's even opted for Tranquil Boots here, it's going to add up, but now in comes Yamaguchi. He wants to kill Doom, but can he kill Doom? That's the question. He does have Sprout, it's only level 1 though, so BSR should be safe. But from where we sit, it's comfortable here for Awake.
Oh, more comfortable mid lane, oh, Jules, he had a haste rune, or actually still has it, the Fisher came out a little bit too late, even through the smoke. It wasn't enough. And actually, Jules, he wants to turn it around. Just look at all the plague wards onto Supra. He needs a one more right click, maybe. No, not gonna connect, and it doesn't want to go in too deep. But man, that was close.
That was very close. Those plague wards do a staggering amount of damage. They're level 3, I'll point out. And the poison sting would have been enough if it was maybe 1 or 2 points higher at most. But here's the death ball push starting to develop. Polo will bring down the first tower. It's at the 6-minute mark, 2 minutes later than I thought, but the first push did fail. And this could be the start of the engine, the death ball of destruction, looking for this top lane. Hell, I actually prefer my other analogy better from the first series. The truck going 60 miles an hour down a lane.
Yeah, that probably is better as well. And actually, Doombringer not going for a Hand of Midas at all, going for the drums, so actually wants to be ready
chase.
a little bit earlier.
He's got Duma ready now. He might just go into Yamaguchi here. He does have that power to do so as well, but then again, you do have Bogsy nearby to defend this.
Yeah, actually, I really love Witch Doctor against Doombringer overall. Just to be able to keep your teammates alive with that Voodoo Restoration, even if they are doomed.
Doom, however, for this game, going for that early drum is going to certainly help. The Tranquils I'm unsure about. It's an uncommon thing on Doom, in my mind. Generally, we'd be looking for phase boots or treads, generally phase, just to be able to catch up and right-click people to death. But if we look at the Doom right now, he's going to get caught out of position. In comes the rotation from Heart, but Doom is thrown into Yamaguchi. Bugsy is here as well. This could be a very big kill, but Maledict will drop. Will they manage to bring down Yamaguchi in time? The level death is there. One more right-click. He will manage to bring down the Nature's Prophet, but he'll trade his life for it. So it's the offlaner for the safe laner, so equal trade near enough. From where we stand, Supra will take a good amount of damage as well. Yo2 did throw a fissure, and they could bring down the Lich here with good blocking. In comes the cask. It's going to bounce. However, it bounces the wrong direction, so they're not going to be able to catch anything else off the back of this one. But TP from Morphling, it actually got cancelled. Did that get cancelled by... No, it can't have been cancelled by the Venomaster. It was a cancelled TP totally.
Yeah, and actually, oh, Nature Prophet TPs in aggressively, might get Supra, the Sprout comes out, Wrath of Nature to bounce, one more right click, he cleans it up, and actually more TPs are coming now. It's gonna be the Doombringer coming back, Earthshaker, he has the Fissure, but chooses not to use it now. He's gonna get slowed down by the Orb of Venom. Are they really gonna continue on going? I mean, PSR, he should be tanky enough with the Scorched Earth available as well. But in the last fight, the small skirmish, I do believe Ice Path actually missed on the Doombringer when they initiated. So Yamaguchi might have otherwise survived, but the tower also taking a pretty huge amount of damage just from the consecutive liquid fires.
Well, this is what they need to do. They're just slow sieging the building. They're just throwing liquid fire on, using the Treants to harass, and they're just keeping BSR back. They're keeping him suppressed, and this is exactly what they need to do. I mean, Ice Path's going to drop. They're going to try to go into BSR, but in comes the fortification. Are they going to be able to deny this? That's my question. They're going to have to drop the liquid fire on it once more. BSR does come in. Do they get the deny? Yes, they do, by the Earthshaker. But in comes the Witch Doctor with that Maledict doing some good work onto BSR. He could go down within these trees. Sure, you've got the Scorched Earth keeping him alive for now. That Maledict won't kill, but equally in comes Yo2. Chain Frost to drop as well. Bogsy goes down. Now they're going to look for BSR off the back of this one, but Doom is thrown onto Heart. So it might be a 2-for-1 trade. They lost the Nature's Prophet as well. A couple of right clicks coming through from BSR could finish this one off, but equally, level death does the job. BSR picks up the extra kill, and they lose the tri-lane. But we hear a Stampede. Where's the Stampede going? Who's looking for the kill? It will be mid lane, and they will bring down the Venomancer. So that's another kill. That's 4 kills in a few seconds even, going the way of Awake. So it's 7-2 as we stand.
Yeah, it's actually pretty damn good. They got the tower denied. They get 4 kills as well. So that's exactly what they need to do to actually keep themselves in the game still. Since if you get a high enough XP lead, you get the core items. For example, Solotic getting his Blink Dagger rather early on, although he started in a solo offlane up against a tri-lane. That's actually really fast timing on it. Doombringer will have his drums finished now as well. So it's looking pretty damn decent if you're Awake at the moment. But of course, CNS, they are yet to just hit their huge timing push.
I'll completely agree. They are yet to hit their timing push, but if we take a quick look at Polo right here, I think it's time for Roshan. And it seems the rest of CNS do agree. We do have that Vladimir's available, 1,600 gold in the bank as well for Polo, so I'm expecting a Necro book to be delivered sometime in the very near future. In come the Treants as well, everything with Howl. This Roshan will melt very quickly, especially now you got Yamaguchi here as well. Full 5-man rotation in for Roshan. They'll quickly scrap this objective, and then they're going to start looking for tier 1 mid, tier 2 mid, maybe tier 2 bot. They have a plethora of options available to them, and honestly, what do you think they're going to go for? They can go for any.
Yeah, actually, we might see a fight now. The smoke is there. Supra doesn't have the Chain Frost at the moment. It's still on cooldown, but they were just a little bit too late to the party Awake, that is. if they had actually gone in, it would have been like a 5-man hoof stomp, pretty much.
I completely agree. They've got that Blink Dagger on the center, and they've had that for at least 2 minutes, so that's going to pay off. And in we go. Blink Dagger to initiate. Yes, on to 3. That's a 3-man hoof stomp, but in comes the Fisher. Double edge as well. Yamaguchi will go down. Heart's going to be the next target. The waveform doing so much. The Deathwood, however, bouncing around. A couple of right clicks out of the Doom, though, will put an end to that. Do we even have Doom used in this one? No, they didn't even need it. That's a 3-man wipe off the back of that hoof stomp, and that was an amazing initiation out of the Centaur, and equally make that a triple kill for Toye as they finish off that pesky Venomancer.
Holy crap, man. Solatic, man of the match. MVP right here at the moment. That hoof stomp was absolutely beautiful. Just killing off the support. The death ward did come out, but first of all, it got cancelled rather early by a level death. But we're double Midases were still finished from CNS now. One on Venomancer, one on Nature's Prophet. So they will be able to catch up with the XP a little bit, unless they just keep on giving away kills like this, which definitely shouldn't be on their agenda.
BSR forced to immediately TP when he sees the Lycan, doesn't want to risk it. And he said he's going to push out this bottom lane. I'm surprised they didn't go for the Doom on the Lycan, because they could just chase him down. Did he have the Scorched Earth? Yes, he did. 2 right clicks, Scorched Earth plus Doom would have killed the Lycan. I'm fairly sure of it, especially considering the Doom has himself a drum, has himself the all-important Orb of Venom. It should have been enough.
I guess he just didn't want to pop his Doom on a target who has a Aegis, so...
I suppose, but taking the Aegis off the board is going to be a very big thing. I mean, the longer this Lycan has the Aegis, I mean, they might get more daring with their pushes. I wouldn't be surprised to see this mid-tier 1 be the focus again, but they need to be very careful with their initiation. You've just seen the threat of a Centaur. Speaking of threat of a Centaur, they're going to use the Stampede. Yamaguchi will be doomed, and he's going to be the target. One big crit right-click. Make that 2 in a row. Supra, however, will equally clean up the mid lane. That's a big initiation. They go for the Venomancer in the mid lane. Sure, Polo is here. Deathward drops by an immediate replica away by that Morphling. Doesn't want to hang around at all. So he wastes 2 ultimates for his 1.
To be honest, to me, it feels like CNS, they're a little bit, or they were at least a little bit too happy with their lineup. They were like, yeah, we can just push. They cannot stop us. But suddenly awake, they came in with the Blink Daggers, came in with their team fight, just waveform across multiple targets. It's actually a pretty nice amount of burst damage there. So it feels to me like they kind of underestimated the ability for Awake to just take a fight and do it extremely fast and just burst people down.
I'm inclined to completely agree. Still, from where we stand, what do you see coming up for the side of Awake in terms of items? Apart from that mech that we just saw, that's cheating.
Well, BSR and the Doombringer definitely could invest into a Blink as well. And speaking of Blinks, Blink hoof stomp double edge onto Jules. A few more right clicks and they get the kill. Level death from BSR to secure it. Holy crap, man. They're 14 and 2, 13 minutes in. Awake, they're just playing out of their minds at the moment. Just CNS, if it keeps on going like this, when will they actually start their push?
I don't think CNS can, and I think that's the idea Awake went with. Kill them before they can push. The first repel of that tier 1 push was a big thing. It delayed them by several minutes. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm feeling very, very, as we get another Blink initiation, Yamaguchi going to be the target. Big hoof stomp Stampede as well. Ice Path to try to save Yamaguchi's life, but one more right click does clean that up, and Solitic going absolutely insane once again. Christ, I can't take my eyes off this guy, but from where we sit, I'm feeling very uncomfortable with my bet on CNS.
Yeah, it's looking worse and worse at the moment, although it's still only 40 minutes in, so nothing is still lost, although XP graph...
There we go again.
Oh my god.
Top lane, Blink, Hoof Stomp, Ice Path. You're not going to connect this time. Didn't go for the double edge just for the threat of the Poison Over for the ability to follow it up, but everyone falling back. Bogsy chasing, drops the casket. It will bounce, but can they get enough off the back of this one? I don't think so. They don't really want to mess around with it. The Centaur equally has Ice Armor on him, so anyone that harasses him will pay for it with a slow. Equally, though, Doom is now available once again. He's going to start heading towards most likely the mid lane and look to push that out. Where is the Lycan while this is all going on, though? He's on that bottom lane. And he is just going toe-to-toe with Toye right now, potentially, in terms of farm. Now we get the waveform forward. Is he going to look for continuing the aggression? He's forced the Lycan back for now.
By the way, what do you actually think of the Morphling going for a Lincoln Sphere this game? I mean, overall it's a nice item getting some health and mana regeneration, of course, but what is it actually for? I mean, liquid fire? Paralyzing Cask, that's it, pretty much.
I'm not actually sure it blocks liquid fire.
So, man,
That applies on the auto attack.
it actually, it should be like an orb. Yeah, it's an attack modifier, so it shouldn't even block that, so it's literally like a targeted sprout.
Sprouts, that's it.
Sprout and Paralyzing Cask, it's like, what?
It'll block the first hit Paralyzing Cask. If it bounces back to him, it's going to stun him still. So I honestly don't like the Lincolns pick up this game for Awake, but what would you then say they get instead of that? I mean, it does give good stats, good regeneration. Do you go for a rushed Manta?
Well, Manta wouldn't be bad. You can just try to split push or keep one lane pushed out at all times with this. Although, I mean, like I said, it's still nice mana and health regeneration, and actually the Morphling does require some mana regeneration at the very least, just to be able to use the waveform to push out lanes faster.
That I can agree with. But, it's a odd one for Toye in that case. I mean, what else does the Perseverance build into that he could equally go for? I mean, it's not going to be
Refresher Orb, double replicate.
No, it's not going to be a refresher. It's not going to be a Battle Fury. I mean, the only other, and this is incredibly fringe, more fringe than I like to think, is a Bloodstone. But I'm not sure about the Lincolns for this one. I don't feel like Lincolns is necessary.
Well, I mean, in the future, there's always a potential of Nature's Prophets going for something like a Sheepstick, so it can block that, but it's still like thinking so far along the line. But I mean, I guess his Lincolns, it's not going to be too slow by any means at all. And actually, they smoke up now, and they are just looking for more aggression. They haven't gotten a kill in like a minute or two, and they feel cheated. They want more kills.
They will certainly want more kills, and they're going to find them with Solitic. I mean, Solitic's playing out of his mind aggressive right now. If he finds anyone, they're dead, especially if it's Yamaguchi. Blinks in, doesn't find the Hoop Stomp immediately, but they're going to drop the Stampede as well as the Chain, well, not even the Chain Frost, the Ice Blast out of Supra, and that's going to be more than enough to clean that one up.
Well, maybe CNS can get the trade here. Necro level 1 popped, which actually isn't all that scary, but with the Liquid Fire, they should be able to get the tier 1. They have the Glyph, Fisher comes out as well. But actually, if this tower goes down, Hart will have, or never mind, he already does have his mech finish now with this.
Yeah, it's a pretty good tower for them to get. And equally, though, in comes the rest of the lineup from Awake. They're going to try to clean this one up and maybe look to push in this middle lane. But equally, top lane, Doom is here. He's getting quite out of position quite heavily, and Ice Path will drop. It'll catch BSR, and BSR now in a lot of trouble. Castle, will it bounce? It's going to bounce to the creeps, and it catches him twice. But Death Ward now out of range. BSR should actually be safe. Do we have rotations coming in from the Nature's Prophet? Yes, we do. He catches the Sprout, but is that enough? That's a pretty big block, but in comes Solitic even, looking for what he can find, and Yamaguchi in a lot of trouble should this happen. BSR will go down finally to the Sprout, but the Ice Path and Macropire will connect and do some good damage to Solitic. So all in all, a Doom for nothing off the back of that. Then again, Tier 1 did die on the top lane. Was that denied?
No, it wasn't, so...
Okay, so it's a Doom for Tier 1. That's worth it.
Well, to be honest, Doombringer had himself a killing spree before, so 450 gold for Nature's Prophet. So that means Necro level 1 recipe plus a little bit extra as well. So, I mean, economically, yes, it's worth it, but considering the TNS, they are going for 3 different Necro books. Venomancer, the Nature's Prophet, as well as the Lycan, and actually speaking of it, Lycan has it on level 3 now. So,
I can get your point. That's going to be very rough, and he's even got Glove of Haste now. That's for his treads. This is going to get very scary here for Awake. If they can't deal with the push,
I mean, even if they kill the push or kill the minions, 3 Necro level 3 warriors, it's going to be 1.8 thousand pure damage coming your way, whoever kills it. I mean, Earthshaker is all good and well against Su going in with the Echo Slam, but he's gonna die himself as well if he does it.
Yeah, he's gonna need to hit those Echo Slams with great care, for lack of a better word. But from where we stand, if we're 20 minutes into the game, let's take a quick look at the graph, shall we? 16 kills to 13, keep that in mind. 2,000 gold lead the way of Awake. A lot less than what you would generally expect. Equally, 10,000 experience the way of Awake. That's from those kills. The gold lead, nowhere near as big as nowhere near as big as I thought it would be. But now we get that smoke rotating towards that top lane. CS want to start shunting more lanes, and Tier 2 on the top lane could be the target here.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely want to push, I think, or at least they should be wanting to push at the moment. And oh, Stampede into Roche Pit. Out with the bait. But actually, they
Oh.
can go for it themselves. Ice Armor to tank it up. They have Shiva's Card and Doombringer as well. Toye, he comes in with the Replicate and they are actually sneaking it.
They would have heard the Stampede call go up, so it's not so much a sneak, but I think they're happy to concede the Roshan if they're going to get a tier 2. I mean, who do you put the Roshan on? You put the Aegis on BSR or Toye? Those two heroes still will die, and the pings do go out from the side of CNS, but I think Click and Search are more than happy to just keep pushing. They put the Aegis onto Toye, and that was still quite the most comical thing I've seen in this game.
Yeah, they were completely expecting CNS to be in that Roche pit, to be honest, but... Well, unlucky for them they weren't, but they got the Roche out of it, so they're fine. They can actually maybe even make it to the defense, although Necrobooks are out. Shiva's card activated. They're trying to slow it down however much they can. Still no Ice Armor though, literally a little bit too late to the party. BSR gets slowed down, the Fisher to block in Jules. Some damage was taken actually. Yo2, I think he killed off a Necro Archer possibly.
I believe so, but the tower still will go down in favor of CNS, and in my mind, it's only a matter of time here before we start to see a tier 3 push. In the meantime, mid lane, we do get Jules pushing back the Morphling, and the tier 1 will still stand for now, but I think, yeah, line has been drawn here by Toye. He's going to head down that bottom lane. Equally, though, Prophet is here. Yamaguchi, the rat. The absolute rat is on this bottom lane, and he's going to be looking to start pushing towards this tier 2. So I would not be surprised to see a full 5-man rotation by Click and Search towards that bottom lane to start contesting the tier 2.
Yeah, it's they can't give away too many towers at the moment. I guess, to be honest, I would have expected by now CNS to already have all the towers, but since Awake, they did get some really nice early aggression, getting the XP lead, and actually... Do they still have a gold lead? Yes, they do. But actually, oh, Stampede comes out solid. He can't blink quite yet thanks to the Plague Wars. Actually, nice Ice Path as well, stopping the aggression. Toye still trying to go for hard. Should be able to get him as well. The mech is there, but a few more right clicks here. He goes down. The Fisher ensures the kill. But, I mean, losing his support, CNS, I think they're fine with it, especially since like he's just going mid lane, but he gets doomed up. There's no escape anymore. He's just going to get chased down. Shivas to slow him down as well. BSR, easy kill.
Yep, possibly the easiest kill of his life. He tried to use the Wolf to micro and deny himself, but couldn't quite manage that. And BSR does what he's intended to do, kill the Lycan. No one likes a Lycanthrope, but in my mind, those two kills just derailed all of the pushing power for CNS for a good minute and a half, if not slightly longer, which protects their tier 2s, it protects their, most importantly, exposed tier 3, and buys some more time for Awake.
Oh, Jules, hoof stomp, double H, Toye gonna come in with the waveform, and bye-bye, Venomancer. They are just getting kills everywhere, and it's gonna get even easier. Earthshaker, a Blink Dagger with a level 2 Echo Slam now.
Indeed, and now we're just looking for the initiation off of the Echo as well. I mean, everything is starting to come up the right way for Awake, and now we get the TP in from the Nature's Prophet looking for BSR in the mid lane, but nope, he's not going to risk getting caught, and I might...
What? Polo? Did he really go for Hand of Midas?
Yes, I figured that Glove of Haste was for a Power Treads. It did sit at the back of my mind that it could be a Midas, but it... Okay. In the meantime, Heart will go down to Solotic and the burst damage, and equally in comes the Stampede. They're going to look for Yamaguchi. They're going to look for more off the back of this one, but in comes the Lycan, doing some good work. Chain Frost to bounce, though, through all of the Necro units, doing a good amount of damage, actually killing the Lich, I believe. Equally, though, in comes the Venomancer with that Poison Over. Does not matter. Echo Slam says no. And can they look for more off the back of this one? I believe they can, but that Poison Over is still ticking quite heavily. Toye needs to be careful. He's probably going to go down. Does trigger the Aegis. Meantime, Wolves are hunting Yo2. Stomp comes through, however. They don't want to let the Earthshaker die to those Wolves, and they will protect him long enough for him to TP out. And they got 2A back on full health, and from where I sit, this is going to be a tier 2, potentially in favor of Awake. They can start getting some pressure onto this bot lane one, but equally, you do have respawning heroes now for CNS, and they can kill Toye. They've proven they can by forcing that Aegis, but equally, for Toye, he has himself a shotgun flying out to him on that courier. So he's going to cock that, load it up, and get ready to blast the Witch Doctor.
Oh man, I actually think that CNS, yes, they are out of the game thanks to the massive amount of Necrobooks as Polo. He's going to get doomed up again, BSR. He has been such a beast on this Doombringer this game. 8, 2, and 6, 2.8k gold in the bank already once again. And, I mean, however many Necrobooks CNS have, if they can't actually reach the towers, they won't do them much good.
Completely agreed. And this is exactly how Awake need to be playing. They need to be protecting their towers by being away from their towers, if that makes sense. They protect the towers by making basically that line on the map. Cross that line, you die before you get to the towers.
Oh wow, 24 and 4 Awake. They have been the masters of just early aggression in this game at the very least. And Venomancer, well, he's gonna go down. Shotgun shown off and GG called. Wow.
They can't really risk fighting into the shotgun, and that's just the sheer power of Toya. And with GG called, I mean, it just shows Awake can fight in. Rough game one for Awake, sure, but, well, they've proven they can keep Click and Search down.
Yeah, so Click and Search all of a sudden, they're actually looking rather bad in the group here. They are 1 and 3 now altogether across 2 games. Tomorrow, they will most likely have to win 2-0 to have to stand a chance at all in getting into the playoffs. But this, guys, is not going to be it. This is it for this series, but we will have one more coming up. Awake versus Insidious Idol. Gonna be coming up in... Actually, I want to say... almost immediately. It should be at 16, I think. So... we will see about that, but thank you once again for tuning in, supporting us, as well as the Mineski Pro Gaming League. And of course, you can always follow us. All the necessary links are below the stream. We have multiple channels running. There are the descriptions what channel is for what as well. And of course, huge thanks to Mr. Blackadder for casting with me. And where can people find you?
As always, it was a pleasure to join you, and they can all find me at Mr_Blackadder on Twitch and Twitter.
Okay, guys, so you heard him. Be sure to follow him. And I believe you're gonna leave me now?
Yes, I need to tag out. I have a meeting to attend to, but I am free to join you all of tomorrow for some more MPGL.
Okay, so you'll hear more of him tomorrow. Mike Loris will be joining me for the next series most likely, but as I say that, guys, see you in the next series and hopefully you'll stick around.